Easter eggs. I just love them. Finding hidden secrets in works of entertainment is always fun to me. Arguably the best Easter eggs out there are the ones hidden in video games. They seem much more interesting than other kinds of Easter eggs. Maybe it's because the creators of video games always let their imaginations go wild when it comes to putting secrets in video games. As a result, these Easter eggs are always fun and interesting. So what a better way to make homage to these fun little treats in video games than to make a video about them? I present you 25 interesting Easter eggs in video games. This list isn't exactly a countdown because I won't be grading these Easter eggs according to how cool they are, but more of a compilation. I'm just gonna mention them and talk about them. Now, there are thousands of Easter eggs out there in the gaming world, but for this list, I'm gonna take only 25 and talk about them. Hey, talking about 15 Easter eggs is already hard enough for me. Some of these Easter eggs you probably already heard of, but others you may have not. But either way, I hope you enjoy the list. And if there's an Easter egg out there that you think should have been on the list, feel free to tell me. But don't be a dick about it. Now without anything else to say, sit back and watch this craziness. Let's do this! Let's start with one you all at least heard of before. So, you're at the castle courtyard in Ocarina of Time, you just finished your important conversation with Zelda, and you're walking around, viewing the scenery, minding your own business when you notice this. Yep, those are in fact portraits of Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, and Bowser. This is probably one of the most famous video game Easter eggs known to exist. It was well hidden inside one of the castle's rooms, but not to the point of it being impossible to find. And I like the idea of Nintendo making their games relate to each other. But more Nintendo Easter eggs remain yet to be seen in this list. And this time, they won't be so easy to find. Are you familiar with the game Wave Race Blue Storm for the GameCube? It's a game about jet ski racing, with many awesome stages and a variety of unique announcers.
Welcome to Arctic Day.
Must finish in 6th place or better to advance to the next race. First place. Nice racing.
But did you know you can unlock an announcer that is totally different from the other announcers in the game? To unlock this announcer, you go to the audio settings menu and tap the C button until the waveform displayed at the bottom of the menu changes into vertical rising fog. Then use the following code. Once you've used the code, you'll hear a sound effect, and you'd have successfully unlocked the sarcastic announcer.
You've chosen poorly.
No, really. He really is a sarcastic announcer. A bored, overcritical dude who wants to make your life as miserable as possible.
If you were any good, you could get a turbo by hitting the gas when the light goes green. Just because you go around in circles doesn't make you a big wheel. Is that the best you could do? Pathetic waste of time. Super weak.
Wow, this guy must be GLaDOS' long-lost brother.
You've betrayed what little trust I'd put in you.
This Easter egg was so well hidden that it took 9 years to find. But it was worth it, because quite frankly, this guy is hilarious.
You don't have an inferiority complex. You're just inferior.
There is a monkey family in Halo 3. It's true. If you go to the level Sierra 117 in Halo 3's campaign mode and take the time to explore the level some, you'll eventually find them sitting there, frozen. Why do these things exist? They seem so unnatural. I mean, just look at their faces. Look at their faces! Why is one of them holding a teddy bear? That's just creepy, man. But the weirdest part is that if you shoot them, they bleed. We may never know why these things exist, but you can't deny it is quite an interesting Easter egg. Hey, did you know that Pac-Man was first created in Rapture? If you go to the bar in the farmer's market in Bioshock, you'll find a Pac-Man made with cheese devouring bullet holes in the floor. All you have to do is look around a bit. Not exactly a hard to find Easter egg, but it's there. And no, this is not a setup someone made. It's an honest-to-God Easter egg the developers placed there. I always find it whenever I play that part of the game. So what are you waiting for? Go to Bioshock and get some Pac-Man! Back before the original Pikmin was released in other countries, there was a Japanese commercial for Pikmin 1 that featured a song called Ai no Uta, a very cute sounding lullaby sung from the Pikmin's point of view. When the game was finally released outside of Japan, the song was excluded from the commercials and remained unknown for the rest of the world. And so the song spent many years without people even knowing it existed, and was ultimately forgotten. Or was it? In Pikmin 2, and only in Pikmin 2, if you select exactly 20 of each Pikmin species and add them to your troop, when marching with them, you'll hear them singing a very peculiar song. Yep, it's Ai no Uta. The actual song may have not made it outside of Japan, but it lives within the game series. Sounds so sweet, doesn't it? I wonder what the actual lyrics for such a cute song translate into. Okay. Eventually the song was included in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, but before that, this was pretty much the only way you could hear the song in the actual game. Until YouTube was invented. You know Clover Studios? The company that made Okami? Did you know that before Okami, they also produced the cult favorite series Beautiful Joe? And just like Okami, Beautiful Joe didn't do well on sales either. But that didn't stop Clover from referencing the series in Okami. For instance, Master Onigiri Sensei from the training dojo makes an almost identical transformation to Beautiful Joe's transformation. That is definitely not a coincidence. Another less subtle reference can be found in Seian City later in the game, where you meet a girl who asks you to print her drawing into a kimono. After doing this once, she'll present you another design that is... Okay, the reference is clearly obvious here. Now the reference couldn't get any more obvious.
Head to the dojo, baby!
Oh, come on! Eventually, Clover Studios broke and went to become Platinum Games, the company that made games like Mad World and Bayonetta. But their legacy goes on. One of the weapons you can obtain in Bayonetta is called Pillow Talk. Sound familiar? This next one took quite some time to be found, mostly because what you have to do to find this Easter egg is tedious as hell. If you go to Wesker's office in Resident Evil 2 and check his desk, you get nothing, so you just leave the place and get on with the game. At least that's what most players did. But actually, if you search Wesker's desk enough times, you'll eventually find an Easter egg called the Secret Film D. You know how many times you have to check the same desk before you find this secret film? 50 times! When you do find it, you can take it with you and have it revealed. Once revealed, you get this picture. Was it really worth the time and effort to check the same desk 50 times? Not really, but you can't deny that it certainly is intriguing why the developers decided to include it in the game. Sometimes in video games, it pays to completely mess around for no apparent reason. Because by doing so, you may stumble upon some really wacky hidden secrets. Like this one from Kate's story. Curly's house in the sandstone level actually has a hidden tunnel inside completely invisible, unless you decide to look at your map for no apparent reason. If you enter this tunnel and follow it all the way to the end, you find absolutely nothing. Unless you randomly decide to check out the right wall to find... Oh, why did I laugh like that? Certainly a nice little gag the developers threw in the game. And yes, this is an item, and you can take it with you throughout the rest of the game. But don't tell Curly, okay? This next one comes from the Grand Theft Auto series. And no, it's not Bigfoot, but something from one of the most popular games in the series. And it's downright creepy. Again, it's not Bigfoot. It's from Grand Theft Auto 4. If you played the game, you must have seen the Statue of Happiness, right? The statue that is an almost exact copy of the Statue of Liberty and has a freakishly creepy inhuman grin? Well, that statue has a secret that no one noticed for a while, because no one bothered to find it. Fly to the upper level of the statue's base. When you're there, you'll see doors. One of these doors has a sign that says, "No hidden content this way." Guess what? You can completely walk through the door into the secret room. Climb up the ladder all the way to the top. And when you make it to the top, you'll see the secret of the Statue of Happiness, which is, brace yourselves, a giant beating heart suspended in chains. Yes, you really are seeing a giant beating heart suspended in chains. This Easter egg raises so many questions. Why is it beating? What's up with that red glow surrounding it? Why is it making that eerie sound? And most importantly, why Rockstar Games decided to put this thing in the game? Spore, a game about life and survival in a different planet, where you can travel anywhere you want and explore the wonders of the galaxy. But what about our home planet Earth? Have the developers decided to exclude Earth from the game? And besides, even if they decided to include Earth, it'll probably be millions of miles away from the galaxy, right? Actually, no. Earth is in fact in the game, and it's actually just right around the corner, along with our solar system.
And it is glorious!
The game even gives you an achievement for finding Earth. This Easter egg is actually pretty well hidden. I mean, look at the size of this galaxy. Would you really have enough patience to check every single corner looking for something? I know I wouldn't. And that, my friends, is another interesting hidden secret in this list of interesting hidden secrets. There are two things Duck Hunt is known for. For being a classic NES game that taught us about the joy of killing animals for fun, and for having one of the most obnoxious characters ever created. But one thing that not many people knew about the game is that you can play a two-player mode and actually take control of the duck. It was never mentioned in the game at all. Well, it was explained in the instruction manual, but really, almost no kid from the 80s ever read instruction manuals for video games. So this Easter egg remains secret for many people for over 10 years. How do you play as a duck? All you have to do is go to the One Duck mode and plug in a standard NES controller on the second controller port. Now that I think about it, doesn't that remind you of...
I'm psychopath!
Nah. In a game series like Super Mario Galaxy, that features such beautiful, colorful landscapes and the scenery, it's not unusual that people would take the liberty to stop for a while and simply admire the beautiful scenery. But Galaxy 2 has a secret hiding in the scenery. In Shiverburn Galaxy, if you switch to the first-person view and look up and to the left of the map, you'll see some strange-looking shadowy figures standing on the top of the hill. They are not mentioned anywhere in the game, and can only be found in that level only. And they're everywhere in the level. Wherever you go, if you look up and to the left, you'll always find them, standing there, watching you. But wait, there's a second part to this Easter egg that it's kinda f***ed up when you think about it. A person took the time and effort to hack the game in order to find more about these mysterious figures, and he found out some creepy pasta. It turns out the sky pattern for Shiverburn Galaxy is called Beyond Hell Valley. That doesn't exactly sound very Mario to me. And the texture for those shadowy figures is called Hell Valley Sky Tree. I don't know about you, but those are not trees! What the